Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contracts, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Sabrina Morris on the line, and she's a lifestyle promoter. Sabrina, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adam. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my God. So I'm so excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk more about work-life balance and also your upcoming book launch. So I love to, for all of my audience that have been following me for a long time, they know I like to help people sell books. So I'm excited to get into this with you. But before we do, Sabrina, let's just start off by going a little bit further into your background and what you're doing as a lifestyle promoter. Tell us a little bit more about your business, please.
Okay. Well, my business was birthed through my pain. I worked for corporate America as an enterprise architect, and I was very passionate about the work I did. You see, Adam, what I did was I solved problems for executives. So whatever kept them up at night, and they had challenges they could not get through, they would call in specialty niche consultants like myself. However, I was so passionate about my work, I did not have a great work-life balance, and my doctor was begging me to quit my job. So my new mission is to find those who are out there sort of like myself, who are hitting that button as far as they can and not creating the great balance that they need so that they can create the memories with their family and friends and loved ones.
Oh, that's awesome. Big fan of that thought process and the work, and I know there's a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives listening right now. Some of them fall into that category, and at the end of this, I'm going to give you the opportunity to leave some contact info or a way that people can follow up with you, but I want to make sure that the right types of individuals and or organizations connect with you. Who's usually a good fit to work with you?
That's an excellent question, Adam. And what I'd like to say are those people who are out there and their doctors actually ask them to quit their job or change their lifestyle in some sort of way. Those are the people that would be great to reach out to me.
That's awesome. Let's switch it up a bit. So I want to let's go a little bit further into today's topic. So work-life balance. Let's start there. I mean, we're always told this, right? Like work-life balance, you have to do it. It's part of it. But I'll speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for the audience, but it gets by me. Like every time I'm like, oh, I swear I was doing work-life balance, and there you go. I worked 100 hours this week. So where do you want to start with this topic? Because it's a big one.
It is a big one. It really is a big one, Adam. And this topic is very important to me because I don't want people, or your audience for that matter, I don't want anyone that's listening to get to the point where their doctor is begging them to quit their job. You need to see the signs way before then, or where you have a wife or a husband whose love language is quality time, and you have not spent that quality time with your spouse, that's a sign. Or your children. When is the last time you saw them off to school? I don't know if school's back with everything going on right now. Or even spent time with them doing their homework. That's a sign. So what I'm saying is watch early or look early onto the signs. What's showing up before you get to the extreme or get way over where you're going crazy to the far end and your doctor is saying, When are you going to quit that? Looking you in your eyes saying, when are you going to quit that job? You don't want to get there. And so I've always told people, everyone I talk to, I always look them in their eyes and say, you do not want to be dumb like me. Do not make Sabrina's mistake.
So I'm a low-hanging fruit type of person, and so I like giving tools, or, I don't want to oversimplify this, but what are some of the things that some people that are listening today, like what are some simple things or simple changes that they can start thinking about making today that may help them kind of along this path of work-life balance?
One thing that I like to do is you can look at your schedule. Everyone should sit down and look at their schedule. I know they've heard this before. This is not new, but do protect the time. That's what I'm saying. Protect the time, because when you start to become an executive and when you're going for corporate and when you're focused on your goals, a lot of times you don't protect your downtime. You don't protect the time that you spend with your loved ones. Protect the time. That's what I'm saying. That's a basic thing you can do. And then also be creative. Sometimes you may have to get a project done right away and you are on a strict timeline. You may have to be a little creative. Maybe on your breaks you bake cookies with your daughter if you know she wants to become a baker. Spend time with her on a break and then go back to it. It's protecting the time and being creative in any way that you can.
That's awesome, and I get it, and it's hard to do, but I guess all these little things kind of add up to that longer thought. And the whole work-life balancing is, hey, it is a balance, like a balancing act. It's not always going to be easy, and things, there's ups and downs, and sometimes you can feel off balance, sometimes you can feel more on balance, but overall, like, it's something to strive for. That's kind of the way I like looking at it. So Sabrina, I want to get into this book that you're working on and that you're launching. So tell us a little bit more about where you're at with the book and its concept, please.
Okay, well, the concept of the book, one of the top-selling author, Matt Morris, reached out to me and asked if I would co-author a book with him. And I was really excited for the opportunity because it's great to help others where they are. And the premise of the book is omitting or getting rid of the limits that prevent you to be successful. Because everyone has their challenges. There's all kinds of challenges, from discrimination due to people's biases that they allow to impact their decisions from an unintelligent perspective that has no basis on fact, only on emotion. So it's getting past whatever it is, your wall, your challenge. How do you jump over that hurdle or get through it? My mother has been an amazing influence in my life. She's already transitioned to be with the Lord, and in that, she has left us a legacy of wisdom. Through that wisdom, my goal is to share it with the world. Everyone that's out there listening. She was such an amazing woman. When you had a challenge, she would always call us all. She had a lot of extra children, because they saw her as mom. Mm-hmm. And she would always start everything with baby. Okay, I know this challenge could be tough, but this may be something you may have to face the rest of your life. So you need to encourage yourself. You need to. And she would give us the tools that we need to get to our goals, to pull through and push past a lot of the barriers that each of us face in life. And that's different for everyone because everyone's different. God created us all uniquely. And for me to say, oh, you're going to face this challenge or you're going to face challenge X or Y and Z, we all have our own challenges that we have to overcome. And don't let anyone, how should I say this, belittle what you're facing. Because it may be easy for them, but to you it could be tough but you have to dig deep and figure out what you need to do for you to get past it. So that's the premise of the book.
Man, that is so exciting, and I can just say, even with what's going on in the world right now, for context for people listening to this, so it's August, or about to be September tomorrow, of 2020. So the whole pandemic thing, all those other things, all going on right now. So a lot of stress, a lot of things going on where the whole society's been shaken. So I love what you're doing. I love the premise of the book. So that being said, so Sabrina, if somebody is listening to this and they want more information on your work or to connect with you as a lifestyle promoter, or for when the book is released, overall, what's the best way for people to connect with you and your brand overall?
Right now, the best way for your listeners, and I'm glad everyone's listening today, to connect with me is via LinkedIn, Sabrina Lifestyle Promoter. You can find me on LinkedIn. Send me a message, and I love to connect with anyone. You can ask me questions. I'll give you additional information on when the book is going to be launched.
Fantastic. Well, Sabrina, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and your work. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Sabrina, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Adam, for having me. I really appreciate you and the work that you're doing.